Some women don't want love. They want attention. Not because they're evil, but because they're empty. And attention, even from a man they don't care about, fills that emptiness for a moment. But here's the truth. Most men don't know the difference between being wanted and being used. They mistake interest for investment. They confuse validation with connection. And by the time they realize what's happening, they've already given too much. Not just time, not just effort, but energy, emotional presence, mental bandwidth, things they'll never get back. This is the warning you were never taught. These are the 8 signs she's feeding off your attention, not because she cares, but because she needs the hit. And if you don't learn to see it, you'll keep giving your power to someone who was never planning to stay. The first sign is inconsistency. She's warm, then cold, engaged, then distant. She replies instantly one day, then vanishes for 3. Not because she's busy, but because she's keeping you in limbo. Just responsive enough to keep you hooked. Never clear enough to create certainty. You think she's just complicated, that maybe she's confused or not ready. But the truth is, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's testing how much attention you'll give her, without any commitment in return. She wants you orbiting her, thinking about her, wondering what she's feeling, what you did wrong, how to get her attention back. Because in that uncertainty, she becomes the center of your mental space. And when she's the center, she doesn't need to give anything back. You're already investing, already chasing, already proving. That's not attraction. That's emotional taxation. And most men pay it without realizing they're being charged. The second sign is performative vulnerability. She shares just enough pain, just enough trauma, just enough broken pieces to make you feel like you're special, like you're the one she finally trusts. But it's not depth, it's bait. Because right after she opens up, she pulls back. She uses vulnerability as a tool, not as a bridge. It's not about connection, it's about control. She knows that once you feel needed, once you feel like her protector, you'll stick around longer. You'll give more. You'll become emotionally invested in helping her, fixing her, being there for her. But she's not building with you. She's feeding off you. That kind of vulnerability doesn't create intimacy. It creates obligation. And the more you feel obligated, the less you'll notice that she's giving you nothing real in return. Because she never wanted love. She wanted attention disguised as support. If this feels uncomfortably real, hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because clarity like this doesn't show up twice. The third sign is strategic presence. She appears just when you start to pull away, just when you stop texting, just when you begin to move on. There she is. A message, a like, a sudden, "Hey, I was thinking about you." It's not a coincidence. It's calibration. She doesn't miss you. She misses the attention. And the moment it begins to fade, she feels the drop in energy. Not emotional energy, but supply. You're not her priority. You're her power source. So she gives you just enough to reignite hope, to make you think something changed. That maybe this time she really means it. But it's not real. She's not coming back to build something with you. She's coming back to refill what she's been missing. Your attention, your effort, your emotional presence. And once she gets it, she drifts again. Because it was never about love. It was always about access. The fourth sign is the breadcrumb cycle. She never commits. She never disappears. She lives in between, dropping compliments, flirting lightly, showing just enough interest to keep you guessing. She'll call you sweet, say you're different, flirt just enough to light the fuse. But she never follows through. No plans, no real effort. Just fragments, pieces, moments. And the dangerous part? You feel like something's building. Because your mind fills in the blanks. You interpret every little gesture as a step forward. But she's not moving toward anything. She's keeping you still, hooked on hope. You tell yourself, she's just busy. She needs time. But what she really needs is your attention on standby. Not because she's planning to choose you, but because she doesn't want you gone. She doesn't want you as a partner. She wants you as an option. And as long as you stay, she never has to give more than crumbs. The fifth sign is the public-private disconnect. In private, she's warm, playful, engaged. But in public, she keeps you invisible. No tags, no mentions, no acknowledgement that you even exist. You justify it. Maybe she's private, maybe she's cautious. But deep down, you feel it. The disconnection. The fact that she only values your attention when it's hidden, when no one else can see. That's not privacy. That's containment. She doesn't want to lose your energy, but she doesn't want to risk what it might mean publicly. Because once you're public, the game changes. The stakes shift. She can't keep you as a backup if people start thinking you're her main. So she keeps the dynamic quiet, controlled, behind the curtain. And every time you question it, she says, "Don't overthink it." But your gut isn't confused. It's warning you. Because a woman who values your presence isn't afraid to be seen with you. The sixth sign is emotional convenience. She only reaches out when she's bored, lonely, or in need of a confidence boost. You're not her partner. You're her emotional pit stop. She vanishes when life is exciting, when she's busy, when her attention is elsewhere. But the moment things go quiet, she's back, acting sweet, acting close, acting like she missed you. But she didn't miss you. She missed what you give her: validation, presence, a response, a reminder that she still has access to someone who cares, even if she doesn't. It's not affection, it's survival. She feeds on the comfort of knowing someone's there, even if she has no plans of building anything real with you. And here's what hurts most. She'll make you feel special in those moments, like you matter, like you're different. But once her mood shifts, you'll be forgotten again. You're not the man she loves. You're the man she uses to feel loved. The seventh sign is selective availability. She always has time for attention, but never for commitment. She can text for hours, flirt when it's convenient, entertain long conversations that go nowhere. But the second you ask for clarity, plans, real connection, she's busy, she's tired, she's not sure what she wants right now. Yet somehow, she always knows what to say to keep you close, always knows when to reach out just before you walk away. She's not confused, she's calculated. She gives you just enough to keep you from moving on, but never enough to move forward. That's the game. She treats you like an option. Not directly, not cruelly, just passively, quietly. Like someone who's always there, but never required. And if you don't draw the line, she'll never stop stepping just close enough to keep you wondering, but never choosing. Because the second she chooses, you stop chasing, and she loses her source. The eighth sign is the ego trigger. She doesn't care about building with you, but she can't handle the thought of losing you. Not because she values you, but because your attention validates her. So the moment you pull back, move on, or stop engaging, she acts. Fast. She suddenly remembers you, misses you, wants to talk. But it's not love. It's not even interest. It's her ego screaming from the silence you left behind. Because losing your attention feels like rejection, and rejection, for someone addicted to validation, is unbearable. So she does just enough to pull you back in, to feel wanted again, to reset the power dynamic. And once she feels in control again, she cools off, disengages, vanishes. That cycle isn't love, it's ego management. And every time you return, you confirm what she needs to believe, that no matter how little she gives, you'll still be there, until you aren't. And this is where it becomes dangerous, not because of what she does, but because of what you become. You start overthinking, doubting yourself, questioning your worth based on her reactions. You feel anxious when she's distant, relieved when she's warm. You start chasing clarity, chasing validation, chasing a woman who was never standing still to begin with. That's not connection. That's emotional addiction. You're addicted to her patterns, her crumbs, her inconsistency. Not because they feel good, but because they feel familiar. And when something's familiar, it feels safe, even when it's slowly breaking you. You lose your standards. You forget your boundaries. You start settling for moments instead of meaning, for attention instead of affection, for reactions instead of respect. And by the time you realize how far you've strayed, you don't just miss her. You miss you, the man you were before she blurred your clarity. That's how it happens. Not in a big dramatic fall, but in a slow erosion of your presence, your focus, your energy. You start checking your phone more, thinking about her more, adjusting your behavior to trigger a response. You become reactive instead of grounded, needy instead of centered, and all of it just to keep the attention of someone who never planned to stay. She doesn't see the effort. She expects it. She doesn't value your consistency. She exploits it. Because for her, your presence is not a gift. It's a given. But the moment you stop giving, she panics. Not because she lost love, but because she lost control. And that's when you finally realize what you thought was a connection was just access. And the more you gave, the more she expected, not appreciated. Attention seekers aren't satisfied. They're insatiable. No matter how much you give, it will never be enough. So what's the answer? Clarity, detachment, presence. You stop chasing mixed signals. You stop decoding silence. You stop giving energy to someone who only responds when it benefits them. The stoic man doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't compete for closeness. He doesn't try to prove his value to someone who can't even recognize it. He observes. He measures. He filters. Because attention is a currency, and not everyone deserves to spend yours. You reclaim your power by refusing to participate in the performance. You stop playing the role she's written for you, the backup, the rescuer, the ego boost. And in that stillness, in that silence, she feels the shift. You're not angry. You're not bitter. You're just done. And when she realizes you're done, really done, she'll test it. One last message, one more pull, a soft apology, a thinking of you. But not because she changed, because she lost control. She wants to know if the door's still open, if she still has access, if the version of you that gave so freely still exists. But you're not that man anymore. You've seen the pattern. You've felt the drain. You've counted the nights you stayed up wondering what went wrong, when nothing was ever right. And that realization, it doesn't need revenge. It doesn't need closure, just distance. Because the man who values his time, his energy, and his peace doesn't go back to being a source for someone who only knew how to take. So now you see it, the difference between being wanted and being used. Attention feels good. It strokes the ego. It fills the silence. But if it's not backed by respect, consistency, and care, it's a trap dressed as affection. You don't need to be bitter. You don't need to hate her. You just need to see clearly. Because once you recognize these 8 signs for what they are, not love, not connection, but emotional consumption, you can step back with peace. You protect your focus. You preserve your presence. And you give your attention only to those who value it, not drain it. Because real men don't chase attention. They cultivate gravity. And women who truly love, they don't take energy. They match it. Stay sharp. Stay still. And never confuse affection with access again.